Alright, so welcome to the Gamingbrew channel where we love and play all things Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight is Rise of Harlock, episode 11. Been a little break, because I've been pretty sick, but I'm finally feeling back to it. And with that means new stuff. So, starting in tonight's stream, you can donate inspiration. You can grant inspiration to any of the players playing. There's rules of how to do it in the Twitch info below. Channel points or bits. You can give someone advantage on a roll of their choice. Just one of the many rules I've talked about before, but anyone that's playing in tonight's game cannot give themselves or anyone else in this group advantage. It can only be people watching. But you'll fill out your channel points. There'll be a little thing that'll pop up. It'll ask you to put in the player's name. Put in the player's name that you want to give advantage. And it's basically just getting inspiration from a dungeon master. So you can store it and you can use it when you want to. Just keep in mind that if you don't use it quick enough, someone else will try to donate to you and it won't go through yet until you use the first one. So it incentivizes using it when you get it. If you want to play games with me, there's a one-shot that's coming up. Was going to be about a hag, but I've since broadened it to called the Hollow Man. So if you want to play in the one-shot about the Hollow Man, which is like wicker monsters, etc. There's a sign up for that now. Clicky clicky.
Sorry.
We also have new overlays coming in today, so if you like the new overlays, please give me a shout about it. We have a couple different scenes that we're going to be trying out. Hopefully it doesn't lag us. Fingers crossed. So excuse me if I cough. But let's get into tonight's episode of Rise of Harlock. Where'd the game board go? There it is.
Ooh, I love the new screen.
So this is combat. You want to see RP?
Yeah.
Oh, do I need to move over? Good. Just move. I don't want to move though.
I can resize you 1 sec.
Oh, there's like next to no delay.
I mean, I can just shift my webcam. I just don't know which way to.
I got you.
Thanks.
It's easier.
Oh, I love it.
It's easier to do
I
it now
love
before we get into it.
Thanks. Overlays.
And we get Sylvia. Shoop.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just adjusted my camera. My bad.
I got you. Cool. RP mode. Combat mode. Make sure everyone looks good on this one too. Let's move Eek a bit.
I feel like Lucan is the only real sane person in our party, and he is a human. Everyone else is just
I'll take that, I suppose.
way out there.
I don't know. That was like this dude though.
All right,
This
that
fucking
wasn't
guy.
Kavla though.
That
so-
was Kavwa, and this
Nah.
fucking guy.
Oh, that's true. I fucking forgot about that. Oh, you disgraced Kavwa.
He obviously was
What?
not a deity, or he would not have been
You
spooked
need to
by
shut the
a
fuck up, you
low-level
disgraceful person.
warlock. Rezmir. That's just rude.
This warlock though, he is sketchy. He's sketchy mofo.
He's a warlock who apparently worships a good god. Like that doesn't happen. That just
It actually
Then-
does happen.
no. Then you'd be a cleric.
There's an entire there's an entire like subclass to a class of doing that, and that's what I am
Fine.
taking. That's how I'm healing you.
With your dark magic. That you
Dark magic. So it's currently
Whose souls
the
are you using?
it's currently the 23rd of Eventh. You guys made your way to the tomb. Outside the tomb, you met a strange tad who called himself Kavwa, the Bard Prince, accompanied by his little familiar Ghelfi, the talking squirrel. The biggest part about the Kavwa encounter was you saw him touch Lucan and then back away, almost fearful, and he told you to burn his body, and then he disappeared. And you guys fought your way through the tomb, following. Strangely, some of the doors were already ajar, and left ajar with rocks, kind of guiding your way through. Made your way down into this tomb where you saw the 10 ghosts. One ghost for each of these sarcophaguses. And if you remember, space 5, so each one is spaced 5 feet apart. Each sarcophagus lid is carved to represent an elven royalty. And then in the alcoves on the east of each room are the crowns, golden crowns that are set on shelves. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crowns on one shelf, and then the other room it's the identical 5 crowns. All of these ghosts are looking at the door away from you, at the western door. And then one of the ghosts has the pelt of a fox, and one of the ghosts is wearing a stag antler crown. And that's where you guys left off, as you were walking into this catacomb. Yusuke has passed without trace up, so you guys are a little more stealthy. But you guys have just came down the steps, tried to speak with the ghosts. The ghosts were kind of didn't really acknowledge you too well. Kind of kept to the door. But Sylvia, you have walked in, and what do you guys want to do?
Did we talk to the ghost with the stag crown?
Yeah, we talked to both of them.
We have, yeah.
Did they say the same thing? Like, what did they say? I only have the we wait to embrace.
I honestly do not remember because I didn't write notes about that.
The one with the revenant weapon, I think. We wait to embrace.
Those were the above us on the floor up. Those tombs.
Talk
Is
to
what-
Fox
those were the-
Ghost first. All staring at
Yeah,
West
but those
door.
2 things were what
Yeah.
the weapons said on them.
We know that Captain Costa, we're assuming that's her, is... Actually, no, yeah, we already know that she's down here in probably the next room.
Yes.
And the ghost confirmed that.
So we already talked to him, but we don't know what they said. Is
I
that the
don't
consensus?
remember what they said.
They basically said that we gotta solve this puzzle to get to the next room.
I don't think
Basically,
they did.
That's obviously not those words, but they basically said, "Hey,
Clickety-clack.
do this
So
thing."
yeah.
You know, I just we wait to embrace.
I'll help Sylvia.
Alright, make an investigation with advantage, because Yusuke is helping you.
Because that was what I was going to do.
20. Each crown is not placed on the shelf like perfectly centered. They just kind of look like they're tossed on. The crowns look to be, they are gold. They each have some sort of marking that represents the sarcophaguses, and they all have names which are matched to the sarcophagus and to the crown. I can give you the names if you want, but they're not really important to the puzzle. The shelves that they're placed on are heavily caked in dust, and you can see where the crown was dropped, that the dust kind of moved away from the crown. Almost like it didn't want it, like the dust can't touch the crown. But each one is just placed kind of just like it was tossed on. Besides that, nothing else really jumps out at you with the 20.
Can I go ahead and take the crowns and start matching them with the sarcophagi?
Sure.
Is it sarcophagi or sarcophaguses?
Sarcophaguses.
Sarcophagi, if it's Latin.
So you, when you go to the sarcophaguses and you open the lids up to see what's under there.
It's the non-Latin version.
Whatever.
There's
Yeah,
they're elven. You pop the first lid up and you can see in that first one, closest one to the crowns, there's an elven skeleton covered in what you would presume was once ornate robes, and like very nice robes, but have since melted away for the most part. It's covered in dust and spider webs, and the only difference is around the crown of the skeletal forehead, you can see there's like a ring where a crown once was that goes around it.
Do you guys think that maybe the crowns are off of their heads for a reason?
Well,
Like, what if
either
this
way.
turns them alive?
I would suggest not to desecrate the tombs, the sarcophagi, unless there's no other choice. The ghosts are just one room over.
What about these statues?
The statues resemble that first room you walked in the four corners where they were the tomb guardians that were holding the glaives that got attention like this. Those are the same statues that are in place behind the sarcophagus. Like they're mounted and ready and they're standing there. Like they're watching over the sarcophagi.
Does it look like anything has been placed on like their head or on the sarcophagus?
No. It looks like you can see the dust kind of falling off of them, and you can see cobwebs that are sticking to them and little alcoves that they're in, but they look undisturbed.
Can I tell if there's anything living in this room, like rats or rodents? Credence?
Besides some of the small insects that you can see crawling around,
Mm-hmm.
no rats jump out at you as being in this room. But there's definitely little bugs that scurry in the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should try putting one crown on and see what happens.
I'm gonna stand over by Silas.
Does anybody disagree, or am I just gonna go ahead and do it?
Myself
I don't
is
agree, but I don't
fine with
disagree.
this.
Okay, I'm gonna take the crown, that symbol that matches the first sarcophagus, and put it on the head of the one that's in.
Okay. Slides on. You're muted, Silas. It slides on, and it fits perfectly with that dusted band where you could see that the crown once set. It clicks into place. And as you hear that, you hear outside the tomb, "No! No!" And then one of the
Oh.
ghosts disappears.
Guys, I think the ghost disappeared. There's one less out there.
Hmm.
It didn't sound happy.
Do we think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Hey, Lucan, what does Resmir say about ghosts?
I'm fairly sure that's not something generally discussed within the church's walls. From what I can gather, though, perhaps they're going to rest, as much as they might not sound happy about it.
Then we keep doing it?
Well, they haven't attacked us yet, so maybe it's the best option.
Eganik will climb on Yuska's shoulders.
While she does that, I'll grab the next crown and go and place it on the next team. Or on the next skeleton.
Place it down, it slowly slides in, and you can hear a little click as it clicks on. And then outside, you hear another ghost. Anyone speak Elvish?
I do.
He says in Elvish, very loudly, and his voice kind of fades out as he's being pulled out from the center of the chamber and disappears, but he yells, "I must witness!" And then, whew, and he's gone.
Sylvia, slow down there. I don't know if what we're doing is the right action.
Okay. Does anybody else have any suggestions?
Well, what are they looking at the door for? We never even looked over there.
What?
They're all looking at the west door. We never went into the west door.
Yes, because we can't open it.
Did we try to lockpick it?
But
I don't know.
think
There's a door. Or a lock.
Is it just a slab?
It's a stone door, like the ones you've been going through.
We could have opened it.
I feel like these things would attack us if we just.
But we didn't try it though. We thought the crown stuff was gonna be bad, and I mean the ghosts are just disappearing. Come on, Yusuke, let's go. Check it out.
I think we should put the crowns on first, little buddy.
No.
If the ghosts aren't there, then they can't attack us. I think that they can't attack us.
Why would they attack us? Don't you think they would attack us for putting the crowns on their heads, though?
Perhaps they're not allowed to leave that room.
They're not
So-
moving at all.
Does anybody want to walk out of this room to find out?
Ikanik seems pretty intent on trying to open that door.
And I think that the only way that we can do that is by putting these crowns on these elves.
Well, if they're ghosts, then my arrow should fly through them, right?
Let's not shoot an arrow at them. Just in case.
Silas, have you experienced ghosts?
Not that I know of.
Isn't your horse a ghost?
Not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any discerning features on the ghosts that we could tell which coffin they belong to before we put the crown on?
No. They just appear to be very elvish spectrals almost. I do have the names of them if you want them. I'll give you the first 5.
Yeah, and
Not-
then if you could...
They're not really particular to the puzzle, but those are the names for the first 5 noble elven royalty sarcophagi in here.
Does anybody else have any other ideas, or am I just gonna put the third crown on?
Player talk? I just feel like this is way too easy. I mean, it could be like Arkham's Razor or something.
I don't know what that is.
The simplest option is usually the answer.
Well, then if it's that, then it's just putting the crowns in.
That was it's just a theory, though.
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, we fight the 5 Tomb Guardians in here, and we know not to
But-
go to the other side.
What if we put all 10 crowns on? They
And then they come to
disappear.
life.
We open the door. They come back, and we now have to fight them instead of not fighting them. If we
Well,
didn't.
what if they come back as zombies instead of ghosts? Are ghosts harder to fight than zombies?
I think we should put half the crowns
Traditionally,
on,
yes.
and then open the door. That way, we're like 50% right no matter what we do.
I agree. And that's
Either
what
fight
I
half
like.
ghosts
Or we're just still 100% wrong.
Completely impossible.
Alright, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
On
Or
us
if you put
discussing...
4 on, do 4 and 4, and then the last 2 at the same time.
No, we're doing 5 first. And then trying the door.
Actually, before we do that, I'm gonna take the crown off of the second one that I put on.
Okay. We do that outside. The elf that disappeared that was speaking Elvish slowly reforms in the room. And stares at the western door.
I'll put it back on, and then...
You put the same one, so you just took it off, you put it back on again? The same
Yeah.
sarcophagus?
I basically just wanted to see if it
She disappears.
If no one has any objections, I'm gonna put the crowns on the next 3 in this room.
Yeah.
Okay. Ikanik's gonna climb off Yuska's shoulders and go into the ghost room. Like, walk against the wall.
Okay.
Stare at them.
So you go to each one. So every skeletal that's in the sarcophagus, you're going to put a crown on its head that matches it?
Yeah, on this side, yeah.
Gotcha. 5 of the ghosts, including the one with the stag crown, have now faded out from the center.
Oh.
Out of curiosity, did the doors leading into the sarcophagi rooms have any engravings or anything on them, or are they just slabs?
Just stun slabs.
Oh!
What?
I think we should undo that and do the other room first. Because that room had the stag in it.
Yeah.
That's
what I was
Stag
about to
first,
suggest.
then fox?
Yeah.
First the fox, then the
Then the
stag.
stag.
And then maybe if we're putting the crowns on, lead with the actual ghost with the stag crown, just to be super
Yeah,
cautious.
so figure which one the stag goes on and take that one off.
So do you think that we should put the stag one, or the fox
Take it.
one on, then the stag, and then the other 8?
I don't think we have to get that specific. I
probably.
think it's just that area,
Yeah.
though. Because
Yeah.
Bruce said the names don't matter.
That order.
That's true.
So yeah, undo that, and then we redo.
Yeah. I gotta take all 5 crowns off on this side.
Can I examine the door?
What?
So when you take all 5 crowns out in the room, the 5 Tomb Guardians move. And they all step into place. They don't attack you, they just all they move out of the alcoves a little bit. They like squirm their way out, holding their glaives, stand at attention.
I definitely think that happened because we did the stag first.
Ooh, they're so scary. Why
Okay,
didn't
well
they
they haven't
attack?
attacked, so let's go to the next room and.
What is your passive perception, you can
Ooh, not the best, I think. Let me check. Oh, my head hurts. 15. It's actually pretty good.
15.
I wanted to examine the door too.
Behind the stone door, you can hear a very faint, slight, elvish chant.
Okay.
It's hard to make out what it is, but you can hear it's like a low hum.
Can I repeat it? Can I do a performance check to try to
Okay, yeah.
catch the words without knowing the language? Okay. This guy's is where he fucks up everyone.
For those that understand Elvish, the only word you can make out that she can hear is blood.
Great.
Mm.
More blood for the blood throne.
Where are you hearing that from? From the other side of the door?
It's on the door. Where are you guys going?
Does
What
it
happened?
does it sound like it's one person, or does it sound like there's a chorus in there?
One person.
Only sounds like one person. One elvish person, maybe? Or it could be maybe a dwarf. Maybe it's a couple.
Is it possible that it's Costas?
I don't know. I can't
Is it
see
feminine?
Is it feminine?
With the 15, maybe?
I don't really know. Kind of all sounds the same. Really.
Fair enough. I suppose that was a big thing to ask.
Are we going into the other room now? What happened? Can we like open this door maybe?
And then I'm gonna follow the rest of them down, ignoring Egan's question.
We're trying not to die, Eekity.
Take her with you. Bind her.
Are you opening the door? Are you gonna try to?
Ekenik?
Yeah.
No, she's going to gently tap her claw twice on the door to see if it makes a sound. Like on the other side, like an echo. And if it does, she'll only do one.
It
But
doesn't because it's so thick. He's here on your side. It's a very thick stone door. So
She just does it 2 times. That's it.
So you guys enter the other side. It's basically identical from the side you just came from. The names are different. I'll give it to you for flavor. Round 6.
Okay, when we go into this room, unless anybody has any objections, I'm gonna look for the fox crown and place that one first. And then place the other 4.
Okay. So as you go through looking at each sarcophagus, none resemble what the fox, like any kind of fox fur crown or Natsuko symbols.
In that case, I will place all 5 on each of the things.
So when you do,
Ooh, Voladar. Don't we know Voladar?
Ooh.
Isn't he like one of the kings?
5 of the ghosts
They're all kings.
have disappeared.
Yeah, but he was like the most recent.
After we do that, if nobody has objections, I'm going to go back over to the other side and place
Go
those
ahead.
high grounds.
I will
Equid.
follow.
Go on Yuska's shoulders now. Tell him that she heard chanting on the other side of the door.
That's probably the captain that we were trying to get help from.
So you,
Maybe.
so you go into the other room now and you're placing all the crowns back onto the skeletons?
Yes.
Alright. So every ghost now that was in the center chamber have all vanished.
The Tomb Guardians aren't doing anything.
Tomb Guardians are still standing there at attention. The other room, the Tomb Guardians have not moved or changed in any way. But when you go into this room and you're placing the crowns, you could feel the eyes of the Tomb Guardians kind of just like watching you without moving their heads.
I'm gonna go and try and open the main door.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Back
Isk
up.
and then Thoriel.
So you go to the door, you go to grab the latch and push, and you go to open it, and stuck. Doesn't move.
Well, I'm out of ideas, and if we take the crowns off, I think the Tomb Guardians are going to attack us.
Did you try pushing?
Yes.
Well, Yuska can probably push a little better than that.
I'll move out of the way and let him try if he wants.
I don't know if this will help, little buddy, but I'll give it a shot. I'll try to push on the door.
Hard. And it doesn't move.
Well, do we think the person's on the other side? Costas? Because then we could just try calling. What?
I don't want to suggest that you guys aren't good at pushing, but perhaps if we're giving the weapon to Silas, maybe he needs to push the door open.
I like that
That's a
idea.
good point, actually.
I mean, for all we know, maybe Silas was the one that was supposed to put the crowns on.
Also a good point.
Is there any markings on this room? Like on the walls or no? No markings. Okay, Silas. You gonna try the door?
Am I gonna try the door?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Nah.
probably not yet.
What? Can I do an insight check on Silas to see if he's holding back something that he doesn't want to tell us?
Go for it.
Oh, good. Where's my purse?
12. Silas, do you want to roll deception if you're hiding anything, or are you just not hiding anything? You're just wary of the door.
No. I'm not hiding anything.
Okay. You're just not gonna open the door?
Well, if you can't open it right now, then the puzzle's not done right.
Do you have any other ideas then, Silas?
Are all the do we close the coffins or do we leave them ajar?
I imagine they're still
Ah.
open.
I didn't
what I was thinking.
specify that.
We should close them,
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay.
but in order.
So now all of the once noble elves have crowns on their heads and their sarcophagi are closed. And
Hey,
eerie
Silas.
still.
You should push the door now. You do it over.
We'll appease and give it a push.
He's full of determination. He runs to the door. Doesn't budge. Stuck.
Well, okay, my next idea is we legitimately have to put the crown. We have to figure out which one gets rid of the fox guy and which one gets rid of the stag guy, and we have to do those two first.
Correct.
And then I don't know the order from there.
We probably might only just have to do those two,
Maybe.
depending on what the riddle said.
Well,
What did the tablets up top say? Did anybody take notes on that?
Where?
Up top, like any of them.
Tablets?
There's
Above
inscriptions
the
on the
floor?
weapons.
Yeah, I did. So the guy who was holding the golden sword says, "Join me in damnation." The one that Eek wanted to take said only an insect would steal the great scepter.
Yeah, but there was, oh no, that was the what? Was there one by the chest that we opened up top?
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
just said
The
fortune or peace.
It is difficult decision. Total on a decision. I don't know what I wrote. I wrote it in quotes though. Tablet said it is difficult decision. Oh god, I don't know what this is. Total on a decision of a long.
I can read it if you want me to.
Yes.
Let me read it. You guys can like walk upstairs and look at it. So I'll read it if you want.
Yes, please.
It is a difficult decision to take on the path of the king, one that cannot be taken lightly. You must man an important choice. To your right, you will find endless wealth, but it comes with its own challenge, as you will never know true peace. To your left, you will find endless peace, but it comes with its own challenge, as you will never know true wealth.
Do you guys also think it would refer to this left and right?
I mean, it
Because
could.
it did refer to the chests, but
It's possible, but I don't know. I feel like the puzzle is self-contained.
I feel like
Maybe.
it is possible because we discovered the left one is the one that has the fox in it, where the right one is. Actually, you know what? I don't think that matters.
I mean, if you really want to know, Sylvia can take all the crowns off again, fight things if need be, and then we can just pick one side.
I think.
I mean, we still have to fight whatever is in the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we have to get Costas. Alright, guys.
Brew. At what point did the Tomb Guardians on the northern room actually activate? Like, at which crown removal did that?
The very last one.
Last is in like
This
the
one right
left,
here.
that
Yeah,
one?
yeah. And it came after he
maybe?
put on all 5 and then took off all 5. So the very last crown that he took off, this one, the all 5 at the same time went.
So did he take off the first, the closest to the shelf last?
I mean, well,
Yeah.
yeah. So whichever one was the last one that he took off. So he put all 5 on, and then after he took off the very last one, the 5th one, is when they all.
So maybe as long as we leave one crown on and make sure that's the
We gotta be
stag?
careful because the Revenant said, "I will end all who seek to enter the grave." And he also told us first the fox, stag. So the Revenant's part of this because of the Revenant King, maybe. And he was a bitch to fight.
Oh, I definitely feel like we're fighting him again.
He's probably telling us the code so we can fight him.
Yeah.
I highly doubt he gives us the opposite instructions.
Let's go. Do the thing.
Whenever you want like a hint, and you want to tap out a bit, I'll give you a roll. Got intelligence or wisdom roll.
What do we decide to do?
Well, if I can make
What
a
if I-
wisdom roll, I will gladly do so.
You want to? You guys want to do that?
Hold on, what was Silas gonna say?
I was gonna say if I pull each one individually, which one has the stag came back.
Are you gonna pull them?
I will, yeah. Just one at a time, on and off.
You, oh, on and off.
So you want to just
On and off. Oh god.
Well, I would say the last one Sylvia pulled off is we should definitely not touch that one.
Well, we don't know exactly which one brought which ghost. Just the way they pulled them all off, but you put 3 on it, yeah.
we can do it. So this one will be the stag, and this one will be the fox, just to make it easier.
Okay.
So do we want to take all the crowns off but those two and see if it works?
The only thing about that is, yeah, because technically, then we still put the fox one on first.
You know the puzzle's good when we're getting into technicalities.
Once you guys find the answer to the puzzle, you're gonna be like, ah. So you're taking every crown off except for the two on the ends, the fox and the stag.
Okay. With Yuska's wisdom, would he be able to? So, like, if we pulled all of the crowns off, and this is the stag, this is the fox, correct? If we were to pull the other ones off and then remove these two, would that possibly be what it is? Or, well, I don't know. Would he feel like that's a good solution?
Seems like an intelligence thing.
It seems, yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, because it's either have the crowns on those two or have it on everything but those two. And I think with the way that the wording of the Revenant's riddle, it seems more like they should at least at first try should be only them wearing the crowns.
That's what I was thinking.
I was more fishing for like a hint on a roll.
I'll give you guys one if you want to concede a bit. I know some.
Is there any
What if
bad things?
what if we pull the 4 and 4 off?
I'd rather try taking the 8 off, leaving the 2 with the stag and the fox first, and seeing if that does it before we ask for a hint. I don't want to give up instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you remove 8 crowns, resulting in 8 ghosts reappearing in the center chamber. And they all and reform, and then stare at the west wall. At the west door.
I'm gonna try the door.
Still frozen, still stuck.
Ignik's gonna try to talk to this ghost in front of her while she's on Yusuke's shoulders. Excuse me, Ghost King?
Ikanik. Only the 2 at the front would speak, and I believe they spoke in Elvish. I don't think speaking to them in common will help.
Well, okay. So now we put all the crowns back on?
I think so, but starting with the side that has the fox on it.
Well, if we put them all back on and then take the fox's crown off first and then the stags.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce has a bad smile on.
So you're taking all of the crowns off, but leaving.
No.
Are you putting it back on? Okay. Starting with the room Silas is in first.
This is so.
No. Starting with the other room.
This one over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad for these ghosts.
So as you put crowns on, I can click on them, they'll disappear again. Yep. Bam.
Then we'll do the other side.
And the remaining 4 ghosts all fade out.
I'm gonna try the door again.
I want to say we should refresh the puzzle by removing all the crowns, but I know that would start a fight.
It would only start a fight on one
Which
side.
Yeah. What if
What
you
if we
pull off
just-
the fox's crown?
What if we just take the stag and fox's crowns off?
Yeah, we can put them all on and then take those two off. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can try that. But take the fox's one off first.
So you're taking the fox crown off first.
Sorry.
And then the stag crown.
Stack crown next.
And then one of us pushes the door, I suppose.
Damn it!
So doing that, the Tomb Guardians didn't respond, correct?
Nope.
Okay.
I think they only respond if we take all the crowns off in a room.
What if we kill or harm the tomb?
I don't-
The bones and stuff.
I don't think
We
that's-
have
Let's
to do
not
like
set
supernatural
the
style and burn them.
I don't think that's how this works.
Yeah, I don't think that's how this puzzle works either.
So if we
Okay.
took all of them off, what if we have to take them out of the room and put them on their ghost selves?
We could try that. We haven't done that yet. Another thing to keep in mind, the north and southern rooms might be separate. They might not be connected in the same puzzle, because we only ended up having the Tomb Guardians on the northern room activate first. So they might be two minor puzzles that are identical, so we don't have to think about the idea of like...
This one, this one,
Like,
this one, this
so
one.
basically what I'm saying is the stag is the one that's supposed to go on first, right?
Not fox.
The fox. So what if it was we put the fox crown on first, and then in order go the other four behind it, and in the other room we put all the other four on first, and then the stag.
I think we
Yes.
did that already, didn't we?
We did not do that.
Put them on the ghost, you mean? Or
No. The rooms. So we basically, for the stag, we put the crowns on all of the four sarcophagi,
Mhm.
then the stag, and then the other room we put it on the fox first, and then the sarcophagi after that.
The only thing about that is we have to take all the crowns off, and I think taking all of the crowns off is what starts
We
the.
don't need to take them all off though.
Just make sure.
Like I
that
said, the two rooms might be separate. So as long as like,
how about
But-
Luke can do it?
But in
Yeah,
one
I'll do
room, like in the top room, if we take them all off, I think
I'm not
it's the
taking them
fight
all
is-
off at the same time.
No, not at the same time. But if we take all, okay, never mind. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So basically, the top one is the fox. No, it's this. So the stag's
No,
on the
it's
top
stag.
one. So the fox needs to be put on first, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So then we would take off the crowns of the four that aren't the fox on the bottom. Then keeping the fox one on.
The fox isn't on yet because the ghost is there.
So we put that on first, take the four off, then put the four back on. And then the top room, take the stag and all of them but one of them off, then put them all back on with the stag being last. That's the only other thing I could think of without actually just fighting shit and brute forcing it.
Put the stag on last or first?
Last, because that's what we're supposed to do, right?
First the fox, then the stag.
Okay, so you're saying.
Try the door, Yuska. I
That's
feel like if we get it, we're gonna hear something.
so that's what you guys are doing? You're going with what Lucan just said?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a sec.
No.
Hey, what's up, Mitch? How's it going, man?
Smeech?
Been fighting off that sick too, bud.
Yeah, we have like our mall hours are like super reduced, and some of the stores are just starting to close down one by one.
Yep.
It's great.
So at the very end of this, you're gonna have a crown on every head, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was making sure you didn't trigger anything. So every time you put a crown on the head, there's always a little click, and it fits right where that dustband was. But yeah, you did that in that order. Besides the clicks onto the skulls, all the ghosts are now present in the room, staring at the western door.
They're all there. They didn't go away.
You
Is the door
Scoop,
open?
if you would push so
Yeah.
kindly, push on the door.
I will attempt to open up the door again.
I hate puzzles.
That's so good.
You got it though.
Wow. I can't.
would have
believe it
never
took us
guessed that.
long.
So as you push open the stone door, it opens into a circular chamber in a 25-foot diameter with a 10-foot high ceiling. The walls are made of hewn stone and the floor is unpaved. At the center of this room is an old brick well. Kneeling before the well is the elf that you saw in the mirror and the one that Yuska has been sending messages to, Costas. Her arms are raised above her head. Both of her wrists have been slashed and blood is dripping down her arms into the well in front of her. Although she was chanting when you entered the room, she stops, and suddenly the room starts to shake. 2 5-foot sections of western wall, 15 feet apart, begin to shovel open behind her. Those are these 2 areas here. Revealing hidden passageways that lead down deeper into the earth, and it has a drop off, so it's hard to see beyond that point. But some soft light begins to pour in. In the bloody well, it starts to shimmer and like ripples of water go across the sides, and she looks at the 5 of you. It is done. She stands. My destiny lies before me in the room beyond. I was chosen, you see. Chosen to be the next ruler of the Olothine. Would you prevent me from achieving my destiny?
Hell yes.
For initiative.
Well, are you good?
For initiative, she's going after you.
Oh wait.
We didn't even ask her. Like, what if
What
she's a
have
good
I done?
person?
Okay, I didn't think she was gonna fight us.
You just told her you're gonna ruin her entire destiny.
Yeah.
We're just gonna fight you.
We are not a murder hobo party. Repeat after me.
I actually didn't mean to do that one.
Am I missing anybody?
That's me.
That's fine.
Oh, there.
God, every time.
Icky Neek's up first.
Okay. Seeing things get a little tense. Eek's not gonna move from Yuska's shoulders, and instead she's going to like call out like, "Will you be a good leader?" And that's gonna be your turn.
Yuska.
Does she look hostile?
She does. All these ghosts are gone now too.
I
Sure.
will hold a frostbite for when she makes an attack.
Okay.
And I will back away enough from the door where I can still see her, but if anybody wants to go in, I'm not impeding them.
Make your frostbite attack. She's attacking you. Con save. Failed.
Hey.
And she has disadvantage on the attack.
Okay. So her arms bleeding from the wrists. She begins to wave her hands. You will not take what is mine. And because you're all clumped up, she's casting fireball on you.
Oh no.
So all of you make dex saves.
Okay, that was not a weapon attack, so that doesn't count. Alright, reaction. I'm gonna absorb it. I'm gonna absorb elements of myself.
Okay.
Will that affect Eek at all?
Oh yeah, it's all of you.
Oh wait, you said absorb.
I'm gonna use Proud Ambition to get advantage on my dex save.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna take it.
Oh, nice.
Eek passes, Silas passes, Yuska passes. Luca passes with his racial. So Sylvia, you take 27 fire, and the rest of you take 13 fire. Iska, you absorb 6 of that, so you take 7.
So 16, you said?
13.
13. Why is my hit points 27?
So she rears up the fireball and then it explodes into the room beyond you. Just
Guys, I don't think we should have done this.
I didn't know she was a spellcaster until 2 seconds ago.
She's bleeding
Yeah.
from the arms!
Silas.
Well, she's obviously weak.
Well, seeing that, I'm gonna run in. Yeah, and we'll swim twice, I guess.
Got it. Oh.
Wow.
So the first one misses, and the second one also misses.
I think Silas has the worst
So-
of all of us.
Sickle.
Yep.
Longsword. You rush at her. You run through the fireball, pop out of the flames. 2 swings, and she sidesteps both of the swings.
Must be a sight.
She looks at you, Silas. You will not claim what is mine. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Lucan. I'm gonna turn off the blood splurt because it's making it a little laggy.
Alright, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at a 2nd level on Sylvia.
Got it.
I don't think he liked my blood splashing all over him.
So ignore the 2. It's the 13 is how much you're healing, not the 2. This is one of those. I don't know why I had to do it like that. And then I'm going to walk into the room, and then as my my bonus action, I'm gonna hex. Oh, I can't because I already cast a spell. I'm going to do something else. And then as a bonus, I'm going to use one of my healing lights on Sylvia as well.
Got it.
Enjoy that 2 HP.
she cauterizes your burn marks. It's painful, but it does the trick.
I'm gonna pull out my short bow, and I'm gonna shoot at her. Of course I do.
Oh, misses.
Guys, oh no. We've not landed a single hit.
time.
Sorry, and was it that you said that the people watching can do the advantages for us this session?
We are called the Ghosty
Yeah,
Ones
they can.
because of our
We
poor
might need it.
rolls.
Channel points or bits. Info's in the Twitch info
First
below.
round, the only damage we've done is 2 frostbite.
It's about to get a whole lot worse.
Oh my God.
Guys, we can't survive another
Are
fire.
you running away?
In case she throws another fireball, yeah, I can run back after her.
All right.
You got it.
What a rogue.
If I take another 27 damage, I'm dead.
Just don't get hit.
Top of the round before you go, Eek. Does anyone have a passive over 16? Passive perception?
I do.
Down the hallway above you, you hear the heavy footfalls like someone's running. Just.
Oh crap, we're gonna have the Revenant fight in this fight too.
Oh
We're
god, that's
screwed.
gonna scare me so bad. No. If that happens, we gotta run away.
He's coming
cannot.
down the stairs. We can't run.
God, that's not like I'm imagining it and it's scaring the shit out of me. Ugh.
It reminds me of the Shield Knight, Tyler.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
so Eek's gonna go.
Don't worry about the Revenant. Like, I'm prepared for him. I'm not prepared for her. I'm prepared for him.
Okay, which thing opened? Was it here?
Both sections. There's one here
Both
and
of
there's
them,
one here, and then it like drops down.
I'm gonna get off Eek, or you can Eek, Yuska's shoulders.
That's our combined form.
Eek.
Voltron.
5 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I want to go here. Oh fuck, no I don't.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
So I'll reveal it for you. So as you get close and you look down the secret passage that opened, it opens into this large cavernous area with a crystal clear water that shimmers at the center of it. And there's a stone tablet that rests above the water.
Okay.
You also see all the ghosts that you saw in that room that you were in are now surrounding the pool of water, looking down at the water.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm dashing.
It's in the water.
10, 25, 15, 20. Can I read what's on the tablet? No, it's probably in Elvish.
It is in Elvish.
I picked it up.
Well, it's a very large stone tablet. It's like a monolith in front of it. So it's like as big as you are.
And they're in the water. No, they're around the water.
Yeah, so the ghosts are like around the water, kind of like this, staring down into the pool of water.
Okay. You just call me back. 10 rating. I think it's 10. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. I think it's 10. Is that right? She was I don't know. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yep,
Can I jump in?
You can.
Yeah. If he dies, I claim full responsibility.
You jump into the water, and it's very cold. It's pretty deep, but you can see to the bottom as it's not too murky.
Sure.
At the very bottom, you can see the long scythe being gripped by a skeletal hand, and the skeletal figure is holding the scythe. His lower half is like stuck in the ground, but his upper half is holding the scythe.
Okay.
Eek might just save us.
That's it.
Yuska.
Okay, little buddy.
You just see Eek run really fast. Oh, I think she only has a speed of 25.
That's fine. I'll give it to you. It's fine.
So, okay, thanks.
Okay. Yuska will move 10 feet forward. And for my action, I will poison spray her. Jesus Christ.
Can't save. Fail.
If only these damage rolls did something.
3. Does it do poison and the poison damage, or just poison damage?
It's just poison.
Just poison damage. Okay. See.
It's just
Spray with poison.
Yeah, it's just damage. Okay. I will burn 2 of my bombs on Silas. So you heal for 9.
1 and 6. It's a good heal though.
And then I will back up around the corner.
Got it. Costis. It's going to stay within range of Silas, but it's kind of sidestep a little bit here. And she's going to Eldritch Blast. Thanks for subbing again, Blaine. 5 months, dude.
Hold on, she's Eldritch Blasting?
She's Eldritch Blasting Silas twice.
This El Terrell bitch.
Hit, miss.
So 8 points in front of you, just poosh. And the second one, she shoots off again. You step to the side, and it smashes into the wall behind Lucan. I'll turn it down a little bit. And that's her turn. Silas.
Alright, well. We'll start off swing.
Oh, they both miss.
Oh
A 14 and 12, both miss. Her mage armor puts her to 15.
Silas, you gotta change your dice.
So you swing twice. The first one, she just blocks it with her bleeding arm, just smashes out the way, and then she ducks under the longsword.
Full action surge.
Oh!
Longsword again. And then
Ghosty ones right here.
I'm gonna second wind myself.
For those of you watching, we could really use those advantages right now.
So
Alright, what else,
heal
Gene?
for 11.
Yep, heal for 11. Primal Cry, Action Surge, then heal the rest of you. Oh, okay. That's good heal. Still in the fight.
Do you
Lucan.
get the second swing with action surge?
He only gets
He gets
one.
one.
He's offhanded with the bonus action. That's how he's making his second attack.
Mitch is asking how to do that with his channel points.
In the chat there, the little small bubble. If you hit that, there's a grant inspiration button. It costs 5,000, and you can pick one of the players that are playing and give them advantage on a roll,
Or how many bits does it cost to brew?
or 300 bits.
300 bits. Wow. Not
That's
that
such a
expensive.
low amount of bits to
Wow,
not
yeah.
have us die.
Mhm.
Wow.
He's probably gonna have to make strength roll to get that scythe out of the water, guys.
Oh, you're gonna have to read that tablet to get that scythe out the water. Well, Lucan's up.
Lucan,
Alright, I'm going.
mitigate.
I saw Eek just run, and I'm assuming it's just one of Eek's moments. You know, it's like when a cat gets the zoomies. I'm assuming she just has to run, so I'm gonna ignore her.
She's gonna show up on the other side.
And I'm gonna cast Hex with my bonus action on Cautious, and then Eldritch Blaster.
Okay. Yeah, channel points you get, Mitch, just from watching the stream. It's like a free thing you build up, and then under the chat button, it should pop up. You should see channel points under where you can type to send messages.
Bits are the diamonds.
Bits are the things you
Thing.
bits are like the things you pay for.
Is it
Energy.
15?
For 200 bits, I wonder. You can get 300 bits for $3, guys. So that's $2
15
to
hits.
make sure one of us doesn't die.
Hopefully, make
So
sure
12 damage.
12 damage. Got it.
That's if you haven't bought bits for. I think it's on sale.
Alright.
Oh yeah, it's 300 bits, 5,000 channel points. There's a little tablet I made
300,
too.
Sorry, I was saying.
There's a little tablet down there that shows it.
What
Um,
icon do we use for concentration?
A little blue dot.
I'm gonna move back over here and I'm gonna shoot her with my bow.
Got it. If you hit, you get sneak. Ooh, hit her. Nice.
I'm gonna use a cruelty die as well.
Go for it. Just go by disadvantage. $18. That's a good hit. So she takes that bolt right into the throat, and she looks badly wounded. She's bleeding out. She looks pretty rough.
With that,
Equals
If only I could
completely
hit her with
unnecessary.
any weapon.
right? I'm gonna use my bonus action and I'm gonna dash so I can move back to where I was.
You got it.
And
Wait, we hit her?
yeah, I did. I
She
did.
did
I did
pretty
good.
9
We did
damage to her,
damage.
though. Oh,
Alright.
no, I did a lot more than 9 damage. I did a lot of damage.
Yeah,
You did 18.
yeah. She blasted her.
My turn. I'm gonna swim all the way down, if I can, to the skeleton with the scythe.
Mhm.
And I want to put my little claws on his hand, and I want to put my hands on the scythe safely, and yank, and twist, and scratch.
The body looks up at you.
Oh god, it moved!
This is mine. He pulls down. He's not fighting. He's just pulling it towards him. And
Bonus action hunter's mark.
all the ghosts around you start to wail loudly.
Oh, crap.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Can I,
I'd like
if
to
it's a creature, I can hunter's mark it. If hunter's mark doesn't work, then it's not a creature.
It's not a creature.
Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay, great. Just not gonna fight it. So I'd say, is grabbing it like an action? That's
Yeah.
a tr-
And pulling
okay.
on, yeah.
Can I swim back to the surface?
Yeah.
So there's no way I can do like a contested strength check with this motherfucker.
No. Because it is magically bound.
Yeah, that's Okay, I'll swim back to the surface. And when she gets to the surface, she'll go to the shores of it and say, Yuska! Yuska!
It's bad. We're running. I'll just become the Taliesin of this campaign.
So Yuska, you hear Eek shout Yuska from the hall, and then you turn and you look down the hallway and you see the Revenant is coming around the stairs, running into the room.
I think that's all I can do.
It's coming from that way. Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Oh wait,
I figured that's where it was coming from.
how much movement do I left from going down and then back
There's
up?
stairs on the other side.
10 down, 10 up.
There's stairs over there, so I thought he was coming
Okay,
from
so
there.
I can get out
Are
of
you
the
sure
water.
those are stairs?
They look like stairs to me on the map.
This is an entrance, and those do look like stairs. Go, Yuska.
Alright, yeah. That's what I'm doing.
I really
Cool.
didn't think it was gonna move, Midge. Okay, don't shame me. I'm not prepared for all these jump scares today.
Alright. I'm gonna blast her with Moonbeam.
Okay,
So the initial cast I'm gonna throw on her.
sure. Con save. I think I gave you a token too. Let me know if I did.
Yeah, I just have to or just roll 20 has to be nice. There we
Yeah.
go.
She fails.
And she takes 14 radiant damage.
So the moonbeam shoots down from the sky and just covers her in this bright light, and you hear her scream out in pain, and she's dead. She falls to the ground, just burnt.
Guys, I think the Revenant's back. And I'm gonna use my last 10 feet to move behind Silas. No, I'll save this week. So, it's my turn. Roll 20, please!
Silas.
Alright. If I remember correctly, the Revenant has 70 feet of movement.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's like that.
You did hear Eek yell from the other room. Just saying.
So we get in the room. Use my movement into there.
Silas?
Can you read Elvish, Silas?
No, I can't.
So you see a Elvish sentence on this large monolith tablet. You see the 8 ghosts surrounding the pool, looking down into the water.
Only 8, huh?
Oh, 10, yeah. Each ghost from the
Oh,
sarcophagi
I was gonna
are
say,
surrounding the pool.
What is this music?
Well, I know the Revenant's after.
After you.
Stay here.
All right.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Well, 2 questions, I guess. The door leading into this room, how tall is it?
10 feet.
And then I guess my next question would be, for minor illusion, it says it can't be no larger than a 5-foot cube. Can I make it very narrow to compensate to increase the height?
Yeah.
Basically, I want to make an illusion so it looks like the door's not open, in hopes that he doesn't just run right through it.
It's like almost dead.
Yeah, yeah, you could try. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna cast minor illusion on the space to basically emulate the door, but it looks like it's closed instead of opened. And then I'm gonna run out of the room.
Okay.
The other way.
Oh, Sylvia! Sylvia!
And then as I'm running, I'm
she's
gonna
over.
bonus action on Yuska to heal him.
Will Sylvia
All right.
know the minor illusion?
Nah, I'm in the other room. I don't know what's going on.
Oh god, what if Sylvia thinks the door's closed on her?
He needs a... What is it, intelligence check?
I believe so, yeah.
Minor illusion.
It's an intelligence check against my my spell, so against a 14.
So you can pop out and look at the door and roll to see if you see it. Or it might look close to you.
Oh, oh.
Lucan, you read Elvish, right?
I do.
So you would catch the tablet, the large stone monolith in front of Silas. It says, "Let the chosen one speak the name of the first great king."
I know that name, guys. I wrote it down.
All right, I guess as I run into the room and I read that, I would shout that out in the last bit of my turn if that's possible.
Okay.
Silas, the last king, shout its name.
Just let me
Sylvia's up.
I'm gonna go here and then realize that it looks like the door's closed. And when I noticed that.
Yeah. You automatically roll. It's basically your mind perceiving if it's real or not.
Oh,
so you get to roll before you make that decision.
It's just I just rolled a d20.
the first
Intelligence.
roll of it?
Yeah, put it in chat too.
First, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Okay, it could be a few things, guys. I'm sorry.
7? No, it looks closed.
So I think it's closed. So
Oh god.
I'm gonna stay in the room. I'm gonna use my cunning action to hide, but I'm gonna have my bow ready in case anybody that I don't know comes out the door.
Okay. Give me
'Cause I don't know
stealth.
I don't know that the Revenant King's there yet, 'cause I haven't, or the Revenant's there. I haven't.
You got it?
Well, what did you hear the footsteps above?
Oh yeah, what
No,
if-
that was
And
just
I also shouted it. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I know
That's
he's
fair,
coming.
fair.
So in that case, if anybody comes out that I don't recognize, or if the Revenant King goes, or the Revenant goes in somehow.
Give me a stealth roll too.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for it.
25. You feel really stealthy. Well, the Revenant. That's a fail. He runs up to the door. He looks at it.
Oh Jesus. Does Yuska see him?
yeah.
Yeah. He's like staring at the door, just like. You can eat.
Okay. So Ikanik is going to remember different names and start shouting them at Silas. Actually, she's going to move up to Silas. And then tell. It could be Viscay. Could be Thauriel. Or it could be Nihaler the Dreadcaller, guardian of the Precipice Horror.
The precipice.
Thank you.
Tell me which name you say first.
Oh, I say Viscay.
I mean, whichever one Silas says first.
Oh. That's
Well,
what
which
this.
one I say first?
Yeah, because whichever one is chosen to be announced changes what happens.
Oh god.
Oh no.
So what I have in my notes, the reason is it says Revenant King, once Tomb of Viscay, and now Thauriel. And then she'll say Nihaler. Or Nihaler. Who's Ashen? But he was given his post by Elturel, and now guards the doors to the below.
So you're basically thinking of who in the Olothine Dusk Elves think is their first great king.
Oh, would it be Elturel? Nah, it's not Elturel.
No, it's not Elturel. I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Well, are you looking for what Eek says first?
She's not the chosen.
Well, you don't know what I say first.
Unless you want her to be the chosen one that claims Wail.
Just remember, yeah,
Pick it up.
the first chosen, like the first great one was the one that first basically used the weapon. So if you remember who that is, that helps.
I'm gonna go back.
Because I personally know who it is, Lucan would not remember.
But those are the names she says right now. And I'm going to hold. I'm gonna knock an arrow and hold it, and shoot if there's a hostile person coming out of here or here.
Got it. Iska.
Guys. I'm gonna use my action to beam the Revenant.
Okay.
So roll that again.
16.
I believe he takes half damage. Yeah. Unless he's a shape changer, it's disadvantage.
Nope. Takes 8 radiant.
That was my one good roll for tonight too.
When did we first know about this scythe?
Like 3 in-game days ago, so like 4 sessions?
4 sessions or
3 sessions?
Sounds right. You were told by
Celery?
no, Zunar from the Royal College
During the camp or before the camp?
at the Howling Hound Inn.
I wasn't at that session.
I think Silas here expanded upon it when you got to the camp.
So I'll step back into where they are.
Okay.
Session 8. That's when we found out about it.
Silas.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that.
So is Silas the chosen one?
Let's see. I'll say this guy.
All the ghosts around the pool of water turn quickly and look at Silas. Whoosh. And you see rising up out of the pool of water, the skeleton's figure slowly rises up, and he holds out the large 2-handed scythe towards Silas.
Eh.
Do you take it?
Yeah.
So you take it outside the door. You hear, and Sylvia, you see that Revenant just disappear, just fade out, and you have picked up
Cool.
the Wail, the Revenant King.
That wasn't too bad.
I am so glad he was not smart enough to go through that door, because that would have sucked. Oh my lord.
He would have destroyed me.
Well, I mean, if he went through the door, I would have shot him. So he might have came after me instead.
Oof.
Oh, he would have came out. He was still looking for me though.
So you have
Well-
your artifact weapon. Just put. So you can either put a +1 2-handed scythe, or you can put 2 1-handed sickles +1. Because right now you just have the weapon.
I have to adjust a little bit because they're 1d8.
Well, as soon as we know
Yeah,
that the
I'll
Revenant
fix
is
it.
gone, I'll dispel the moonbeam.
Okay.
Yeah, once I see him disappear, I'll
I'll dispel the door.
lock in with everybody else and see.
Oof. Eek's gonna try to dry herself off. She actually takes off her hood. It's like wringing it out.
I'll burn a healing word on Eek and a balm.
Thanks.
So Silas, you're handed this large 2-handed scythe that goes out, made of bone and sinew, almost like it's like an elf's femurs that reach out, and then you can see in the middle you can break it apart into 2 1-handed weapons. However, when you pick it up, this weapon is sentient, and it speaks to you, and it says out loud to everybody in Elvish, "Who is the one to claim this weapon?"
Oh, what was that? I can understand it now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, does only Sylvia and myself understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, the wielder can speak, read, and understand Elvish.
Don't you have a tune to it first, though?
No.
Oh.
Well, I guess technically it requires 2 minutes.
Then you wouldn't be able to understand it until that happened.
Silas, your new weapon there. It's asking who is its owner.
To the one that claiming not know how to
Very fast.
speak the language of the gods.
Unfortunately, no. He does not know how to speak Elvish.
He speaks in Undercommon. Does anyone speak Undercommon?
No.
He says in a very, like, very oot and, like, very grunt. Untin Khan. Then you hear a loud, This isn't common. Can you understand this?
Yes.
Can I speak in Abyssal and see if it understands it?
What do you want to say?
Oh, let's say, do you understand me now?
It's a T-Mobile commercial.
He responds in Abyssal. The language of the fallen. I am Thyreal, the second of the Olothine. Have you come to release my spirit from this weapon?
That depends upon who you think.
Well, haven't my minions been coming and trying to find someone to come and claim the Wail of the Revenant King to release me, to take my place?
It's been a long time since you've seen your city.
It's been untold centuries. Take me to see it.
I'm assuming you could probably walk. Oh? Maybe? I don't know.
Say it again?
I'm just trying to think if we want to walk out of here. Like, which way?
Yeah, why not? Probably just have to lead the way, Silas.
Yeah, you say, is there anything over this way?
It goes up to like a really small like burial center.
Okay.
So it doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't like lead out. It just leads to a small little area where the kings were like mummified.
Okay. So I just kind of go out the way we came in then.
So as you guys are walking out.
Wait.
Good.
Before leaving the circle room, not the lake room, Eek is going to get a vial of Costas's blood.
Water?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna pour out her elf tier vial thing
Okay.
from Zilri's place and fill it with Costas's blood.
Interesting.
He does some really weird things.
She's a soon-to-be chemist, thinks.
You're a fuck up.
It's not really chemistry.
That's like a really messed up way to
She
do
needs a
chemistry.
teacher, okay? She needs a teacher.
So you lead.
So she wants to turn into a necromancer.
No, she can't do magic. She can make berries, and that's it.
Do you want to do anything in this tomb? Or are you just like walking out of the tomb and getting back to the surface?
Oh, Eek wants to take crown so bad.
Yuska's gonna look around where we are right now, see if there's anything of interest aside from the obvious.
Yeah. I'm also gonna see if there's any if there's any loot.
So in this cavern, now that the whale has been taken, all the ghosts have dissipated, and it's just a very large, open, cavernous area with a crystal clear, cold pool of water. Nothing else looks of value or interesting inside the area.
What about the crowns?
Yeah, Eek totally wants to take a crown.
So all the crowns are indeed magical. I was waiting to see if someone was going to put it on their heads.
Lucan, do you have Identify?
I do, but we need money to use it.
Oh, don't have that prepared.
If anyone has 100 gold, since that's just the cost of the components, I can do that. In like
I
10
think we
minutes.
should take the king
Oh,
and the or the stag
Did
and the
the elf
fox.
have anything on her?
No. She had no armor. Well, she has that one greatsword that's not anything special, but it's just like a normal greatsword. For the most part, she was bare of all possessions.
I mean, maybe we should just take all of the crowns and like sell them.
I'm taking as many crowns as I can get.
I would say leave 2 of the crowns. 1 on each side.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Actually, I could ask the king.
Aren't you? The
There's
king?
no asking.
Yes.
You are.
I am the king.
Ask Burial.
He says really loud, and it explodes off the weapon. I am the king.
Maybe we should ask him what crowns to take.
Anything you take past these walls will awaken those that stand guard.
Well, that's okay. We're gonna run real fast.
Alright,
I mean, I wasn't planning on running today.
I don't know
I
if
was
that's a
hoping
good
we'd
thing
have a nice
to
walk
do.
back to town.
I'm gonna take 4 crowns in the top room.
Okay.
Maybe you should like put something in its place. You know, even trade.
Like a crown, perhaps.
Maybe like a seed, like Yuska does.
I
I
don't
don't.
have any of those.
I think we should just leave what's buried here.
We've already desecrated the sarcophagi enough as it is. We should just leave.
We have what we came for.
I'm flattered.
I'm gonna sleight of hand to see if they see me take the 4 crowns.
Ooh, good idea.
All 4?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see you.
With the 10, they don't move or react, but you pull off 4 of the crowns in this room.
Sorry, I was referring to my party, not the
Yeah,
Guardians.
Oh, gotcha. You want to have passive lower than a 10? Nope. They see you taking the crowns off.
All right.
Sylvia, maybe
Sylvia,
you should just take one.
Sorry,
I suggest you do the same.
I actually don't know what you said.
I suggest you leave them like the rest of us has decided. All
Oh.
4 of them, not just 1 though. Leave all 4.
I'll put 3 of them back and then take the stag one and like pretend that I'm putting it. I'm gonna roll another sleight of hand.
Yeah.
To pretend that I'm putting it.
18. I think Yuska sees you, but that's it.
I would put that back, Sylvia.
Yuska's passive nuts.
How high is your net? How high is your percent?
21.
Nice, okay, I wasn't beating that. Alright,
I took
it
observance,
back.
so.
that's fair. Alright, I'll put it back.
Yuska might be a big dumb bear, but he sees everything.
Bland says you can follow in Simon's footsteps.
I think it's happening.
Interesting.
So, are you guys just gonna walk out of the tomb without doing anything else, just following the same path? All right.
Well, I mean,
want
we
the scepter.
have
We'll
this
play it.
path up here. We can see what's.
No, I looked at that. That's just
Yeah.
the burial chamber.
I mean, we could
That
check
doesn't
the other
matter.
doors that we never opened.
I agree. I
Yeah,
like this
so
plan.
those.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna throw you guys up here.
Oh, look, I'm in another room.
Alright, last chance for someone to screw themselves over for money or peace.
Sylvia.
I already
She's already
chose.
done it.
I chose well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eke
chose
wants to
money.
choose peace. She did provide 2 droplets of those elvish statue tears, though. She's gonna choose peace and go to the left one.
Okay. You open it up. It's an empty chest.
Yeah, just like before.
Eek, by the way, you're fully healed.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
While she does that, I'm gonna go over to this room and try and open it.
I think Silas might be able to open this. these now.
Oh, my roll 20 is lagging.
That's a good point.
Come on, roll 20. It's loading back up now. So I'll read out what the description is about to load. It opens into a 15 by 10 foot room. Appears there is nothing in this room other than dust and stones led by the shedding of the ancient walls.
Well, nothing in here. Who wants to go to the next room?
Yeah,
Lead the way.
no reason to search.
Almost in there.
Yeah,
Alright.
no worries.
Alright, I'm in now. So did you go through that room or you just like saw, opened it, and then went back towards the
Just
center?
looked into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing here to ransack.
Opening this room, a massive stone sarcophagus carved to look like a beautiful elven maiden dominates the center of the chamber.
Is there anything written on her, on the thing?
On it, it says Tomb of the Voice Gilwaren.
Sounds like a bard.
Yeah. I'm gonna open it.
You see the withered remains of an ancient elf lying in sarcophagus. In its bony hands, it clutches a gold and silver glaive. Across the blade are runes in Elvish.
Can I read what they say?
Those who would touch my glaive will show me their death.
I just want to call their bluff.
Not saying. I kind of want to take that.
I want the scepter so bad. I wish we had dispel magic.
Oh, you want the scepter on top?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen, guys? You just gotta take their weapons.
Well, let's
I
see
mean-
what the scepter
You're gonna
said.
fight off like 1,000 Tomb Guardians
There's only 4.
that we know
Up
of.
here.
That we know of. Only an insect would steal the great scepter. See, there was no real, like, threat there unless Eek would turn into a bug.
I believe calling the DM's bluff is the #1 cause of death in D&D.
Bitch.
Liar!
Blah.
The DM is
That
full
was
of
great.
shit. Oh, really?
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Next
I
campaign.
think I'm gonna take the glaive.
Each of
No,
the Tomb
no, I
Guardians
stop
turn
you. If you do anything like that, I stop you.
Why won't you guys let me take anything?
Cause you can't die this easily.
I'm not gonna die this easily.
Can you use a heavy two-handed weapon?
Oh, is
No.
that what it is?
It's a glaive.
Yeah,
Weapon.
it's heavy and it has reach on it.
That's a good point. Nah, fine, I won't.
If it was something useful, then I mean, maybe.
I'd use it. It's not the end of the world.
You can sell it.
Eek's gonna go
That
this
too.
way.
It's also enchanted. Oh, well, maybe not enchanted.
All of it's enchanted.
Unique. You step into a 10 by 15
God.
room. It appears there's nothing in this room other than dust.
Cool. Does it smell weird?
No,
No.
just bare and dusty.
Okay, I want to investigate now that I'm alone.
Okay.
Seven.
Up to 7, you step another 5 feet in the chamber, and then the doors.
No.
The doors slam shut. Everyone outside, you guys hear. The walls begin to grow the faces of hundreds and hundreds of elves, as if they're pressing against the fabric of reality, like their faces are
Eek is
pressing out of the
screaming.
stonework. They begin to weep uncontrollably. They're just crying and crying.
Eek is crying too.
The water
As
the water is rising.
shut.
The water is rising.
Oh.
With each tear, it's slowly rising in the room.
As the door shuts, I run over the door.
Eek will take the blood vial and like swing it around the walls.
So you spin it around,
Splatter
swinging.
the blood.
Thousands of these faces just keep on pressing against it. They're just weeping uncontrollably,
Ah.
slowly filling this room with
There
water.
goes the blood.
It's up to your waist now.
Oh good, she's
I
not
got-
very tall.
I'm gonna try to open the door with you.
It's stuck.
I'd take a blood wild magic potion.
You drank
Out of
it?
Desperation. Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, well, let's see what you get. I'm gonna roll.
Oh god, I hope she doesn't die.
That's why you don't go into those rooms. It's obviously a trap.
Your size increases for 1 minute.
Yes!
So you went from small to medium. So you're about 6 feet tall now over the water. It's now about your knees.
Oh, I could have died. Oh.
The spectral eyes are just
I mean,
weeping
in
and
about a
weeping.
minute you will.
Okay, okay. Eek is going to try to
Still-
remember some elvish things.
Still
and
frozen
say
shut. What are you trying to say?
I'd have no idea what she would remember. She would remember the blood thing, the blood word. Or she would say Visque. And then she would say blood.
Big Neek. Say as you shout random elvish words and you shout the first king's name, they continue to weep. Spectral faces, thousands are pushing through.
Silas has the blade. How do you open up these doors?
Let's say, ask Theriel how to open it.
Are you sure you don't want to let her just perish?
Eek is gonna light a
As
torch
much as I would say yes, no.
and try to burn the faces on the walls.
So you're like burning the faces.
Yeah.
There's thousands. They're just all continue to cry when you burn one. More appear.
Oh god, she's starting to pray to Resmir.
Theriel says,
Like,
investigate the side of the chamber by your knees on the floor. To Silas.
oh,
'Cause there's a
Resmir,
there's a
please
mechanism
don't let me
to
die like
push.
this.
So I have to make an investigation check?
Yeah. But since he told you, oh yeah, it's easy to find. There's a little handle on the outside that you can push. And you push it and then the doors fly open and this water just pools out
Yeah.
both directions. And you see a very tall Ikanik standing in the middle of the room.
Oh, guys.
Wait, no, she's double her size, so I'm still way taller than she is. I'm disappointed, little
She's
buddy.
as
Don't
tall
let
as
off
me.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
As you walk into the room, the Fortune Guardians, ching ching,
It's our cue to leave, guys.
I assume I get small again because it's been a minute.
You just gonna walk out.
You just don't leave me.
I'll do it like this to make it easier.
I'm sorry. She's gonna scurry and try to climb on your shoulders.
So
Like
You can be
maybe
the
after
last
the potion
one.
or maybe after that wears off, little buddy.
It did. It only was a minute.
if you guys would have went to the or the other room, the north one, it would have been the same faces, but they would have been screaming at you.
Oh,
Ah!
I don't know if I preferred water or not.
So changing to RP mode, as you guys have made out of the map. You guys are now on the front of the tomb.
That
Yeah.
was a close one. I should have prayed to her all fair. She's a
So
passive.
Theriel can see the city now, can you?
So you want to walk over to the edge to like overlook, because you're up on the high cliff with the tomb. You can walk over to the edge and show them the city, if you want to do that.
Yeah, I might as well.
So you hold the two-handed scythe over, and he looks down. Ah, my people, as spry as ever. Now are you going to release me and take my place? Or am I bound to follow with the 5 of you and be bored out of my mind?
That was pretty exciting.
Were you bored out of your mind under the water?
That is a good point. Yes, I was. I will help you.
Keep you.
I will help you spill the blood of your enemies. As long as it is exciting. I have much to see now that... What year is it? I've been trapped for so long.
What year is it?
What year do you remember it being?
It's
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say anything, but out of character, I'm gonna tell Giles it's 623.
Giles?
I mean, it's better than Galus. Like, we're making a step forward.
It is Gallus.
I said Galus, though. Did I say Galus?
You said
No.
Giles before.
Oh, yeah, I know what that was saying.
I'm gonna ask the king what year does he think it is?
But judging what has happened... Is it the year 1700?
So
He's
would that
talking
be
about
1700
before
from his
Almadune's
death?
sacrifice.
Is this Saber? Is he talking in Abyssal still, or is he
He's talking
talking
in common. Talking in common. What does that mean? I ruled for as long as I could while our great kings laid before us. And I've been in that tomb for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
If he said 1700, then that was before Almadune's sacrifice.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
That was a long time before.
I'll be right back. I gotta feed this annoying little cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick 5-minute break.
Yay.
Do a quick little break. Get back to it.
Oh bloody hell! It's almost 9. It's almost 9:30.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So guys, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. It'll probably play for like another 45 minutes to an hour and then be done. So be right back. Shout out to the new patrons on the ticker. That's your guys' current tune items. Clickies.
So I'm wondering if I should give the sickle to Sylvia.
What's
You
the
guys could-
on it?
You guys could hear the mic clacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mic was muted. I'm worried.
And we're back. Yes.
That's interesting.
Those are your guys' current attuned items. If you want to switch it up in any way, let me know.
Silas got all the items.
I was gonna.
It's because your rolls are so bad.
Well, I don't need the sickle anymore, so that could go to.
I think we were saying
Sylvia?
Sylvia could have that one.
Yeah.
Can you
What's the
wield it?
damage on that though?
1d4 plus 1.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's better than your dagger.
But if you're fighting something that needs magical weapon to actually get hurt fully, it's way more better compared to doing like a blunt or piercing that does half damage.
That's why I have the bow. I have my bow's magical.
But what if someone's touching you?
Well,
Then
then
you touch them back.
I'll use my cunning action to disengage, and then I'll run.
All right, no, I'm just making sure you know your options. That's all.
So the group, you've walked out of this tomb, and it is the sun has set. It's the night. Night has fallen. To a clear night for the most part. No rain, no preparation falling. The campsite is still out there, although it is abandoned now. But it is dark, and if you look over the hillside, you can hear the moans and the shuffling of the elvish zombie horde slowly walking through the Olothine capital city. What would you all like to do?
I think we should rest.
At,
Probably.
Yes, the camp
I
just
agree.
down the road will work.
no, the Juno Mars camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Juno Mars camp.
Juno and Ghelfi. Yeah, I guess we're gonna rest there.
I got you guys in RP mode too.
Cool.
So you got zoomed up on your beautiful faces.
Oh god, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
everybody.
So this is it. You guys, if you want to talk about anything as a group, now's a good time. If not, let me know when you want to advance to the next day.
So, Silas, are you like king now?
No,
No.
I am king.
But you're a sword.
Until he
thing,
frees
so
my
that's
spirit,
fine.
I am the king. That means I am the king of you, Silas.
I don't know about that.
Call me king.
Why are you named after the stag god?
He doesn't say anything.
Is that real?
Call me king.
Yeah, he sounds like. Yeah, his name's Ethereal.
I am Thyril.
Cyril.
How do you
Ethereal.
spell it?
Oh, how do I spell it in the ugly common tongue?
Well, that's not very nice.
Thyril, I believe.
Ethereal.
You're missing an A.
I don't think they're named after the same thing, buddy.
What if they just forgot the A? You know, when they were naming it.
Ethereal.
I have not heard you speak my name, Silas. Call me king.
For real.
Thyril the king.
Would Yuska happen to know how to spell Therial?
I assume you could write.
He's
We wanna
contemplating
be able to
this
read
one.
the job boards.
Yeah, you can spell Therial.
They're not spelled the same.
Silas, make a con save.
Oh Jesus! Do you still have the parasite in you?
The whale is allowed to not let you attune if he chooses, and he has kicked you off your attunement. You drop the whale on the ground in front of you. You are not worthy to wield the king.
That's kind of mean, Adrian.
Until he casts my spirit out of this godforsaken weapon, so that I may move on to the afterlife. You have to
Then
deal
who's
with
gonna be in the weapon?
Silas.
But Silas can't be in the weapon if he's out here.
If Silas is in possession of the scythe and he passes on, his soul will be absorbed by the scythe, as was mine and the king before.
So he has to die first.
Yes, but he can still free me now. You'll never speak to me again. But if you choose to keep me in this godforsaken weapon, you will call me king.
Hold on, I have some questions though. Why are all your people zombies?
I'm not sure. But they are beautiful.
They're dead. How do we save them?
I am also not sure. I've been stuck in that tomb for so long, but I could still reach out to them in some form. I felt like I could still ask them to do my bidding.
How do we fight Nihaler? The dead caller?
I'm not sure who you
He guards
speak
the
of.
doors to the below.
What is the below?
It's where El Terrell is.
Why would El Terrell,
Economic.
the Lord of the
The
Elves...
weapon does not know of Almadoon's sacrifice.
Ooh. Huh. How does your time have magic then?
What is magic?
Ah, okay. How did you get trapped in the sword?
Once I passed on, it absorbed my soul.
How? Magic.
Is that what magic is?
The tethering.
What is tethering?
Hmm.
Is that what I need to do to
Wouldn't
make
be the
Silas call
tethering.
me king?
From what I understand, the tethering happened after Almadoon's sacrifice. And one such as him would not have it, that's for sure.
Then how did the sword work?
Was it a gift of your false god?
I came and claimed it in the tomb after Vizque passed on for a long time. See, our people believe that once a king dies, he will come back as a specter and choose the next king. And they waited and they waited and they waited. But I believed this was false. So I went to the tomb, found his weapon, picked it up, and Vizque spoke to me. And he asked me to free him, so I did. Like any good person would.
But you're not good. You're
Ariel.
evil.
It's a good thing I'm not a person.
Ariel.
Are you still hung up on Therial?
The bear is confused.
I mean, you did come claim me because you wanted to be the next king in the Olothine Elves, right?
Yes.
So do your duty and free my spirit, or call me king, and I will guide you to victory.
Do you think he can help us win over Bossy?
I think he could help us.
I think he can do much more than that.
Do you know the Sightless Seer? Probably not. He's not that old.
I do not.
Yeah.
And what are you?
Me?
Small one, yes.
Well, I'm part Ursus, part Avis. You can call me Ekanik.
Hello, Ikanik.
Hello, sword.
Part Ursus, part Avis. Strange title,
Mhm.
but glad to.
This is not my title.
Oh.
My title is. Yusko, what's my title?
And you are Yuska.
Spelling is the same, little buddy. Even if it's in the name.
Yuska, what are you? I've never seen your kind either.
Mhm.
What are you?
I'm the nurses.
So you are part of him and then part other creature. They half breeding now.
Her, please. Her, please. Her.
We did.
No, we're not related.
But if you're part of each, that means you had an Ursus mother or father and then an Avi's mother or father.
It was a personal choice, actually.
I see. I don't like this time. And I'm surrounded by... There is not a single elf in this group. What happened to... Are all elves... Are we all walking dead?
Not all of you, but the ones of your kind, at the very least, have become either the Walking Dead or they live in the below. Cursed to become whatever hell spawn that Elturel wishes them to be. You've missed a lot.
Elturel and Hellspawn. You must tell me what you know. Are you sure that the one beside you is not undead? She is quite decaying.
What?
I'm still alive.
Good.
For now, anyways.
She's just thirsty.
That's one way of
And I
putting
mean
it.
that in a literal sense.
Well, if I'm to be bound in this weapon, and he will not call me king, another one of you are free to claim me.
Nah.
I'm good.
So I'm just gonna...
Unfortunately, I don't attack with weapons, so I don't think I'll be much use either.
So I've been freed from a tomb to be left on a hillside.
I suppose if that's Razmir's fate for you.
King and Abyssal.
That is good enough. He allows Silas to pick him up. Now, if you would please, when you take a rest, if you would just prop me up against a rock or a tree so that I may see, that would be very generous of you.
Fun.
I'll keep you company.
I must know more. Who is Rezmir? And why is Elturel in the below? What is the below?
Ikanik would pointedly look at Lucan.
Rezmir is one of Almadun's children. Altarel, to keep it short and simple, tried to betray Almadun, but Rezmir managed to catch him in time and warn the others. And then for Altarel's betrayal, he was cast down into the below, which was created from Almadun's sacrifice to prevent him from doing what he wished to do.
So the mad creator went crazy with power, and Elturel tried to save us all and gave his life to stop mad creator.
That sounds quite wrong, actually. I don't think you heard me very well.
See, in my time, Almadun was known as the mad creator.
I've seen no stories of that. I think you might be mistaken. I think you might have been under that water for too long.
Well,
Do you,
go ahead.
do you know who Kabwa is?
The large frog?
Yes.
I do.
But sometimes he's not a large frog. He's a small frog that's blue. Have you seen him before?
I have not seen him as a small frog, but I do know of the primals. I know of the frog, the raven, and the wolf, and the bear, and the snake. Always liked the snake. Odoma, I believe.
Mm.
She had a pact with Elturel, but so much has
Yes,
happened
and
since.
Unfortunately, that pact cost her greatly.
Such is what happens when one deals with gods.
So if a god were to touch you, and then they get kind of freaked out and leave, what does that mean?
That could mean a couple of things. Did that person smell?
Not particularly.
Was he covered in disease?
I don't smell, I have
No.
no diseases, and that was not Kavwa. This is a wasted conversation.
Something must have been opposite of the deity that touched him that made him recoil.
I mean, he seemed pretty convincing that he was suicidal.
And yet he was scared of a simple acolyte of Resmir. That makes no sense to me.
Maybe he has some sort of feud with Resmir?
Perhaps. Not everything's written down in books inside my churches.
I guess time will tell if we run into him again. Or if we meet Resmir himself.
That would be the day.
So were the five of you looking for a king to lead you to glory? Is that why you've come?
We're trying to kill one, actually.
Oh, see, this is interesting.
Do you know of anyone named Harlock von the...
I do not, but if that is the king that we must kill, you will kill the king and you will place me on his throne.
I mean, as a sword, that's probably not a bad idea.
And that must have been why you've come to get me, right? You needed someone that has countless years of experience to lead your people to be greater than what you once were. You've come to this tomb, you have freed me, you will carry me to Harlock. I will slit his throat with the help of my... whatever you are.
If anyone's slinging his throat, it's me. And we're gonna get that straight right now.
Ooh. You could lead.
Perhaps, but that is not my goal.
I thought that was your goal. I thought your goal was to take the throne.
My
Are you
goal
lying
was...
to us again?
No, I said my goal was to kill Harlock, and if nobody is better to take the throne, then I will take it. But I never said that was my goal, to take the throne.
Well, then you could just put me there. See, it works out. It is a perfect storm.
Yes, I see it's now a throne filled with blood and corpses around it, and a single scythe sitting on it as though it can lead.
Does anyone know anyone skilled in the art of painting that could paint such a portrait?
I've painted once.
Ah. Box cutter fly. Well then please tell me what I need to know, since I will not be freed and sent to the afterlife. And if I'm going to accompany you all.
You're probably headed to the below.
Yeah, that's real Torellis. Oh, that's fine.
I don't think you should want to go there though.
But what is? I don't. The below, if.
The the above.
Silas,
If you accept Resmir's light, I heard that anything is possible.
will you hold me up into the air so I can see what the above is? Clear blue sky, a little fog.
No, it's past that.
I think I would wish to be where the fallen elf is.
But why?
Oh, he led my people to great things when I knew him.
He failed.
He succeeded.
Why do you want to be with the failed king?
He killed the mad creator. He succeeded. He's powerful. Just.
That's Resmir.
I do not know this Resmir.
I think you're confusing Elturel with Resmir.
The child of the mad creator? News to me? He was not around when I was alive.
Well, he stands for justice.
And light and law.
Is the one that writes the law really writing the law for you? How do you know that his law is actually the right law?
It feels right.
Do you just follow law for law?
His law
No.
isn't just written down. Our goal is to learn what the law is and then carry it out.
Follow a law you don't even know what it is? You should just come with me. I will guide you to what you need to see.
Whatever it is you think I need to see, it's not the below. Not a terror landscape like that. I'll pass, thank you.
Is it terror? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
That's what the books say.
And the illustrations, and the prophets, and the philosophers, and the gods.
Yep.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the opinion of a scythe means very little to me.
I am so much more. His voice gets a little angry. I ruled a people for hundreds of years.
Now they're dead. Well, they're not dead, but they're dead. What are you gonna do now?
Get sweated on by this beast that holds me.
I didn't know they sweat. That's pretty interesting. Wow.
Does that mean that Sylvia doesn't sweat?
Do I sweat?
It's a good question. You look dry as all hell, I imagine.
And you coughed out dust too.
Yeah, I don't think I sweat.
Oh,
Do birds sweat?
I wouldn't imagine so. I think it's more just increased heart rate and panting.
Well, if I am to be bound to the five of you, I would expect to hear much of the glories of Elturel. Unless you wish to free me and let me go.
Are you good?
Nothing is good. People-
That's a lie.
People do good things.
Because no, you don't understand. Yuska is good, and me, I'm good.
Are you saying that I'm not good?
I didn't get that far yet.
You claiming that I too
Real
am
stuff.
not good?
Well, I mean, Resmir did talk to me first.
You might have. It wasn't even him that spoke to you. It is one of his angels.
And then, yep. But did you hear an angel?
I don't need to hear the angel's voice. They grant me gifts.
Maybe you're not as good as you think.
That would make no sense. Resmir would not grant me these gifts if I was not good.
That's right. Sounds right. So are you good, Theriel?
I led my people. I kept their bellies full. I provided them shelter. I protected them from the precipice of horrors below. I thought I was a very just and good king.
That sounds pretty good to me.
I don't need some person that doesn't even speak to me to tell me if I'm good or not. Some spawn of the mad creator.
Well, that's not very nice.
This is fine. He's merely unenlightened. Now, that being said, we should figure
Okay,
out what is
boomer.
next.
Okay, boomer.
What is a boomer? To unlock the next thing, it's based on if you do certain points in the story. So you go through things in your backstory and then awaken.
Gotcha.
I'm done talking to the sword.
Couple minutes pass. So
Oh god, it's one of those annoying things that's
Oh, Rasmir, preserve us.
will you release
Silas.
me now, Silas?
Him.
Can we just shove him in the bag so to stop talking?
He's so sad.
Is that how you'll treat your future king?
If I release you, you won't be the future king.
But I'll be free. With your sweaty palms.
So salty.
At least tell me where we're going.
Nova Vassi.
Eastwards.
Is that where the king is?
No, but it's a start.
The scythe is silent. So I've talked to you guys for about an hour or so. So is there anything you guys want to discuss as a group?
I want to talk to Yusuke alone, but nothing as a group right now.
Yusuke is very deep in thought right now.
He's broken.
I'll probably end up doing first watch with Sylvia, and I'll talk to her then.
Okay. So should I put Yusuke and Eek on the second watch?
Well,
Can we
I'm always up. So
Can we do Dawn? Or the third watch, if there is one?
Yeah. So Yusuke, Silas, and Eek and Eek fall asleep for the first watch. Lucan and Sylvia, you guys are awake. Give me perception checks. Okay. About an hour into the watch, the rain starts to pick up a little bit, just a slight drizzle, but nothing more.
All right. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say I'm just gonna sit there and enjoy the rain. I'm not dry skin. What's dries?
I think that's a song. Hillary Duff song, yeah.
Let the rain.
That's funny.
I used to love that song as a kid. Anyway, sorry, Luca. What did you want to say?
All good. You keep talking about your stuff. That's good. Yeah, Lucan will end up sitting next to Sylvia, and so Sylvia, what's the plan for the coming days?
I think we go back to the camp, tell them what we've learned, and then take the army and march to Nova Vassi.
So we march immediately, and then get Yusuke to send word to Zilri to send her forces.
I would say so. We coordinate it so that they arrive first, so that maybe the were-rats get a little thinned out by the time we get.
You're still planning to do that then?
Yeah. Zilri's trying to kill all the Sanguis race. I can't have that.
That is fair. Be cautious of Ikanik. That homunculus will end up dying in the process. She might not normally be terrifying, but the wrath when that thing melts, I imagine it will be quite strong.
Yeah, perhaps. I suppose we'll find out.
Also, I wouldn't mind having a couple days in the city before we send the forces in to try and get the common people on our side as well.
That's
I'd
fair.
rather not have 3 forces fighting in the city.
So that makes sense. We can start walking with the army, but go ahead of them, or get them to stop like a half a day's journey out. At least so that they're there, so they don't have to travel far.
Sounds good. Perhaps we'll even find out a closer actual date of this tax collection instead of it just being a guess.
Yeah, it has been a few days. It's been almost a week now since we've been back.
I think so, yeah. Something like that.
Because it took us 4 days
You're on
to
day
get here, and we've been here for a day. So yeah, something like 5 days.
Alright, and I know that we're probably pushing our ideas here, but what next after that? Do you have any plans?
Well, we have to take the city, and then hold the city from the tax collectors.
Yes, but after all that, I mean, what is your next big goal?
I suppose we move to the next city, and the next one, and dwindle the forces of Harlock, and then at some point make a final assault on his kingdom.
Simple enough, I suppose.
It sounds simple, but probably won't be simple, unfortunately.
And what we talked about earlier, have you swayed your mind if you end up taking over?
If that is what we decide to do, then yes, I might take over. But I also still want to explore the world, so I am still unsure.
Well, then I would suggest you think of someone to replace you if that's the case. That's not a scythe, preferably.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure between now and us taking that, we might find somebody who is better suited. And I still have contacts in the Senate.
Alright, very well. Well, watch is almost over, so I'm probably going to get some sleep early, if that's alright with you.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Aye, may Resmir guide you tonight. And at that, he's going to get up and enter one of the tents and take his sleeping bag out.
Got it. After the watch, Iska Ikanik.
Pretty sure we still have the pillow.
Hmm?
Yes. Okay. Eek would try to have Yuska come with her to the opposite side of the camp from Sylvia.
Got it.
So, little buddy, I think I figured it out. They're not named after the same thing.
I think you're right. Yeah. Probably wasn't a mistake. But Yuska, you know all the gods, right? Like a lot of gods.
Well, I wouldn't say know all the gods, but yeah, I'm at least with the gods of the trance, I'm fairly familiar with them.
Are all the animal gods from the trance?
Hmm.
Are all the animal gods from the trance?
You would know they're not.
I would say most of them maybe, but not all of them.
Is there a bird god like me? Because
The matron of ravens.
Does she look like me?
I would say no. And I believe she is in the below as well.
Oh. Where's the bear god?
Make a religion check.
Yusuke would know, but I am drawing a blank.
I'm sorry.
The 17. Udgir goes where he pleases, so he could be in the trance or the above. It's wherever he wants to be at the moment.
Uger, don't give a fuck. I want to find an owl god. Or maybe like an owl angel. Or something. Maybe an owl king or queen.
You mean find other AVs like yourself?
Well, no one can really be like me, but I haven't seen one in a long time since leaving home.
I'm certain we'll come across some other AVs at some point.
Well, I felt kind of bad with, Thadriel being a sword and scythe, and all of his people are like zombies now, and he's like the only one. He's not even alive, but like, I want to find someone like me.
No, I'm certain we can at least look. We have many places I'm certain that we'll have to go to.
Well, I hope we don't find any here, though. It's not a very nice place. It's a lot of dead things.
I mean, I'm certain we will return here to close that precipice of horror, or whatever it is that they call it. But...
Yep.
But we can certainly look, little buddy.
Okay. Can you help pray with me to see if there's an owl god listening somewhere?
Sure.
Okay. And he would go and next to the river, and she would dig a small hole. She's like, "Okay, you gotta put one of your seeds in now."
You just go plant a couple seeds.
Okay. She'd cover it up, and then she would just kind of like ask to see if there's anybody around. She's like, "I don't know if there's any Avis gods out there, but I believe in you, and
Hey.
I'm here."
Make a religion check.
Okay.
Very quickly, the seed sprouts and a little acorn sits on top of the seed, on top of the little plant. It's like, whoop, and then there's a small little acorn. Grows very fast on this little like half branch vine that sprouted from the ground. It's only like a couple inches tall, but there's this little acorn.
Yusuke, did you see that?
I think that's a good sign, little buddy.
So there has to be something out there.
I would agree.
Okay. That's good with me then. And that's all I had planned.
You guys make your way back to the campsite. Sylvia is sitting there in the rain.
Maybe Thariel was taken from his
I'm
Weeks
just soaking up the
later.
rain.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
High wisdom, low intelligence.
It's true though.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before the morning comes? All right. Morning comes and still have just a light shower. The light rain doesn't subside. You can still hear the moans and the grunts from the zombie horde as they slowly walk around the valley and through the ruins below you, sloshing through the mud. Ghosty ones, what would you guys like to do? You want to go back to Novavasi straight away, or do you want to go back to the camp where the Sightless Seer is, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I think we should go back to the camp.
Yeah, I think we should head back to the Sightless Seer first.
Is there an easier way than going through that, like, claw place? Garden of Claws? That, like, screwed us over.
I mean, now that Silas has the king with him, maybe he can just ask politely for the hands to move away.
Oh, yes. Say it again, Lucan.
I was saying that out of character, but I...
Not anymore!
Yeah, I mean, you can try that. Have the Theriel tell the Garden of Claws to subside.
So Ethereal is the one that apparently is raising the dead to try to get the next person to claim it.
Yes, as long as you have my favor, none of the Olothine people here will touch you. You will walk freely amongst them.
If I release you, what will happen to all the people?
They will be under your command. You will be king. And I will be free.
Would they stay dead?
I can only call to them. I cannot change them. Just know that the scythe always needs a soul. For once you inevitably pass on, the scythe will absorb you. You will be returned to the tomb, and then someone will need to come and free you. Maybe they'll make you wait and carry you around in a knapsack.
You said you're in a knapsack.
I thought you put a bag over his head.
Oh, no, I did. Somebody else did, I did.
I was suggesting putting him in the bag of holding. Just so he's not talking.
So onward, you want to go through the Garden Claws and have the Wail subside the garden? Is that the plan?
If the will.
Sounds like it.
All right.
Yeah.
So the journey is much easier this time around. As whenever you guys get close to a ravenous ghoul pack, they're still there, but Wail gives out a call and they just disperse, and you guys walk freely on the back of the Nevermore steed. And I'm assuming Yuska like gets riding horse and kind of carries you guys out, so it's pretty easy to get back to the fort. What is my shit doing here?
Technical difficulties.
There we go. So as you guys make your way, a couple days journey, and unless there's anything you guys want to talk about on the way there.
Yeah, out of character, I want to talk about our plan.
Okay.
What's the plan?
Bring the Sightless Seer's army to Novavasi.
Doesn't
Take over
Does- Doesn't the Sightless Seer want the scythe though?
No, it was more so. What's his name wanted to see it and study it, but he didn't necessarily want to keep it.
Zeron or something?
Zunar.
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 Zunar the
Yeah.
Oncalin.
Mhm.
So what we'll do is
and this-
like this is a good time to like talk about your plans, and then we'll probably end it after you guys kind of figure out what you want to do at the camp for the night.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Sightless Seer's already agreed to lend us his forces. Zilri's also ready to go, just needs to be told when to go. And then I still think it's probably best for us to get there early and spend some time in the city, just so we can get information, because we'll be gone for like almost 2 weeks, so things will probably have changed.
Yeah.
So how would we get information? Like scouted, or would we get scouts from the forces?
Honestly, I think just something as simple as just going into the city and being like, going into the taverns and like, there's probably a date now listed, I would imagine, or if there isn't, there will be soon. And then just hearing people's situation and then just trying to. I mean,
Yeah.
Lucan is going to try and get people to religiously revolt in the city at about the same time we fight.
Yeah, and I think Zunar wanted to come back with us so that he could basically show me off and let everybody know who I am and what I'm trying to do.
But that will cause some unrest because, like, we're parading this usurper around town.
That's the idea, is we're trying to start a rebellion.
So how do we, like, are we doing it in a way that's kind of like low key, or are we not? And then that way, like, gaining too much attention from the bad guys.
I think we're doing it pretty hot, well, pretty low key until
High key in the city, low key overall. Like, we don't want
Yeah.
the information to really spread.
Okay, so we
So
don't want
probably-
assassins to come after us.
Yeah,
basically,
so actually that's a great point. We still need to kill the current what's his face of Novavasi.
Harlock?
No, not
No,
Harlock, Farand.
Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to get Farand out of there so there's no opposition. So we'll probably have to do that operation before we can actually get the army in.
Well, I thought we were using the army as a distraction while
I mean, we can do that too, yeah.
Ooh!
infiltrate.
What if we do a bluff and we have the army positioned outside the city, and like coax some forces out to like, oh, don't worry, I got this, and then we get rid of them, and then Ferdinand or whoever his name is has to like, okay, now I gotta deal with this problem myself, and then he goes out, and then we kill.
I don't think he's gonna leave this
That's
tower.
not.
I don't think he's gonna
No.
come out.
Probably gonna happen.
I think he's gonna hunker down.
Basically, I think one of the best ways is to have it where if they're fighting in the city, like basically we can have it where the gates are open, and then the Sightless Seer's military comes in. The castle or the keep, they might send the soldiers out to help keep the peace, I suppose, and that would make it a little bit easier. Or we can just do it in advance, which would be a little bit more difficult. But that's another option, I think.
Okay, so we gotta figure out how to kill Will Farand.
Yeah, we were originally gonna scout his like tower and try and like infiltrate it and use the army attacking as a distraction while we kind of sneak in.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. A lot of people are gonna die, and hopefully not the few people infiltrating the keep.
Yeah, because that would
That'll
That has
probably be
happened,
us.
and that will happen. We need some way to make a quick getaway. Like, can we secure like a teleportation potion? Like, is there some sort of like dimension door we can figure out?
I mean, if we can convince,
Sooner.
yeah, we can get Zunar. He can technically set up a thing. We'll probably have to like hold off the room until he can get it made, and then we can jump through the portal. We'd
Isn't
show
that,
up
like,
all the way back
10
here.
minutes?
Yeah.
Teleportation.
It's 100 rounds.
No, the spell that he was using to teleport to the mirror, or whatever it was, to get to the fort. I can't remember how long it took him to make that spell happen.
Whenever
I don't know.
Caleb casts
we
his
didn't really discuss how long it took him. We kind of just did.
or is it 1 minute?
Yeah,
I think
it
in
takes
10 rounds,
it
1
takes-
minute.
It takes 10. Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute, 10 rounds. Okay, so that's not as bad as I was thinking.
Yeah. If push comes to shove, I can get out easily too. So I'm not too worried about that.
couple quick little side things. So I would use, if you guys want to control the armies, I'd do the Warzone rules. I'd give you guys unit cards. You'd have a unit card for like, depending on what forces you get, that'll have different things. So some might be like peasant forces. If you get the armies from, if you get the humans from like Novavasi to fight with you, they'll be like levies, they'll be peasants. Like the were-rats might be like an infantry. And then depending on how many people you get to coalesce, one person controls each unit card. And the unit cards fight alongside you guys when you fight. So it'd be like Lucan controls Novavasi peasants. So on your turn, Lucan, you would do your normal stuff in the keep, if you guys attack the keep, and then you'd have your peasants, and you control your peasants to attack another unit card. And then you roll your attack, and then the unit card has their attack.
That might be the cleanest way to do it then, is to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've done it on stream a couple times, but I don't remember the episodes that we did it in Dying Embers. But they have an army that they control too, like that. But the way it works is, you guys are considered commanders, so if you guys die, your armies disband automatically. And if you kill Farand, his army disbands automatically. It's like you cut the head off the snake and you win that way too.
Okay, cool.
So
I like
if
that.
that's kind of neat. So that basically, if we do this whole thing without the armies fighting, but we kill Fernand, his whole army just disappears.
His army disbands, yeah. If he's the one that's controlling it.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, keep in mind there's also his other person, so there'd probably be
Yeah,
both of them, and
there's-
maybe even the Burgomaster might have something.
yeah, the lieutenant and everything.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So like if Lucan controls the peasants, if Lucan dies, the peasants run away. And then if like Sylvia's controlling the were-rats, if Sylvia dies, the were-rats will run away.
Die or
Oh.
unconscious.
Die.
Okay, I just want to be
Full out die.
clear right now. We do this and we do the fight. If you guys give me the were-rats, I will be sending them to suicide. I hope you all know that.
Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Like, not like
Why
not
would you do
suicide.
I think the
But, like, you-
animals should handle the animal.
I'm just giving you guys that.
I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to not do that and then just kill Zilri so their were-rats disband afterwards, if that's what you're planning to do anyway?
Well,
It's kind of rude, yeah.
okay,
Let me use
but,
your dead body to do my needs. That's
yeah,
not
but I'm just gonna use them as like the frontline meat shield.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd rather not lose all the levies in the battle, because that sounds like a lot of work.
I might still have an old card from it. See if I can find one. If that's like the route you guys want to go, raising the armies to attack.
Yeah.
There we
that's
go.
Probably how we're gonna.
Oh, it's so tiny.
So this is like, this is the Minotaur card that the Dynamers guys use. This is what they kind of look like. But the only thing is you can't keep an army unless you have a stronghold. To house it, pay for it, feed them.
Can't we turn the city into a stronghold after we take it?
You can.
Okay.
You just have to deal with what comes with it, which
I mean, I think that makes the most sense. And then after that, we'll probably have to defend against the tax people, which will be even harder.
Yeah.
And then I am 100% cool with like heading back here and doing the huge dungeon crawl if that's what people wanted to do.
Yeah. I feel like the tax collectors wouldn't be as hard as taking the city. I feel like taking the city is hard.
I think it depends on the plan.
That's fair.
Yeah,
If
I
we
mean,
have a
it's
good
also
plan,
like the
the city
tax
might be
collectors
just-
have like the, aren't they the ones riding the bats and shit too?
Yeah.
Which means you gotta deal with aerial units.
God.
But they're not going to expect it, like, when we take the city, if we
Expansion
take the
is-
city, we should, yeah, exactly. We should dress up as the Sanguis Guard so that they're not expecting it and we ambush them.
I like it. Also, keep in mind though, if we were to kill Farand, there'd probably be some Sanguis Guard that would probably leave the city and head to the next nearest town.
Yeah, but
Oh.
they,
Like, expect things to spread.
What
yeah,
if
but sorry. go
I
ahead.
mean, you don't just sack a city and
there's
you know.
there's probably dissent in his ranks? Like if a Sanguis can talk to a Sanguis who's kind of high up there, and that we know that there's like some sort of like I don't really like Wilfrand, and we sow doubt into his mind, and we can get him or her onto our side. That'd be more forces, because they probably have like their own group of Sanguis.
That's actually a great idea, because I like the idea of us having like a 4 or 5 day like time jump where it's basically our characters are doing individual tasks within the city or around the city to do something to build the army. So I would be preaching and talking to the poor people.
Okay, we could do that.
And then,
I think that would be really good too, because he wouldn't expect probably his like close ally to backstab him.
Yeah.
Pull a Jaime Lannister.
I could work with Bruce like behind the scene on some backstory stuff to see if I would know anybody in the city, just from my connections.
Do you guys want to do it that way? So the next session will be like you each kind of have a plan of what you want to do for a week or 5 days, and then we'll have some roles that go alongside it and RP out each individual person's week to see how much of an army you build, and then the next thing will be the big battle like the week after. So it'll be like a week of you guys prepping, and then the week, because the army fight is going to be like a full night for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it takes even longer than that.
Yeah, it's going to be a big battle.
Do we want to fancy the idea of those crazy ass druids in the woods? We're like, hey, you want to sack a city and Ethereal maybe? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
Because,
but
like,
I feel like
the
I'd be
two
awful at
animals,
that.
what are we gonna do?
I think we briefly discussed it the session that you weren't here, where we said that we weren't going to do that because we didn't really know them yet.
Yeah, they're super crazy. But we didn't talk to them.
Yeah.
So maybe Yusuke and I can do some scouting, feel it out, and like, nah, that's dangerous to leave. We're like, we can give it a shot.
I mean, yeah, the Brimtide's not that far from Nova Vasi. If you guys really want to do that, you could.
But is it close enough? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it seems
that's
very
yeah.
We're also racing against time at this point too.
Yeah.
I feel like something like that would take more than like 5 days.
We need
I figured if anything, I could probably just hold up Ikanik in 2 hands and just be like, this bird talks to Resmir's angel,
Oh my
listen to her. And she'll just spout random gospel, and
It's
we're good.
Simba! What are we doing with Noala? She's just like gone, man. She's not gone.
Nothing's
Yeah, I haven't
ever
really talked
gone.
to her in a while.
We gotta fucking find her.
I totally sent her a message like last session, I think.
And she didn't talk back, right?
No, she talked.
No,
about
she
it.
did. It was Costas
What?
at the ending of that session that wouldn't respond to us.
Okay.
She was like cutting her wrists and shit.
Wow.
It's true.
I mean, I can use 1 sending a day, so
So maybe on the way there, you can do sending.
On the way there, we also have to send Zilri as well.
Yeah. Well, how many days of a travel is it from the fort? Because we're gonna have to walk, and it is a couple days.
it's like 4 or 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, I think I remember it being 4 days.
Can you guys hear that?
Hear what?
There's a toothbrush in the background. An electronic toothbrush.
You got a couple day walk. This is the map right there. So next session is you guys get to the fort. You can talk to the Sightless Seer if you want to. Go back to Nova Vasi. Then we'll do like each player's individual week. See what kind of army you build, and then after that we'll have a big old city takeover.
Yeah, and then I think after that it's more than fair to let people that aren't me or Tyler take the lead for a little bit so they can do their stuff too.
Yeah.
Because we kind of like grabbed the campaign and pushed it in a direction right now. So
I think we needed that though. It's not like the bear or the
This
bird
is
was
true.
gonna do anything.
I mean,
we'd
the
be
bear
wandering in the
has
middle
a
of the
heart to go
Brimite
after.
right now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sounds like the bird wants to find her people.
That's a new development. I love character development. so good. I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited for her to try out her own. Alright.
Alright, so that's probably it for tonight's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be back on Thursday, do a little bit of a DM prep stream. If you haven't seen it yet, we have the new race out, the Wular. Pretty happy with them, pretty popular race so far. Put a new spell out today. Spell's like it's an aura that gives Bless and Bane at the same time. And then a new race will come out this week. The Bug People, the Insect race. And then the week after that, the new class will come out. Now the Insect race and the new class are Silver Brewer only. Shout out to a couple new patrons that signed up over the weekend while I was sick. So yeah. Even though we can't go outside, we still got lots going on inside, so hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't signed up for the one shot yet, play with us. Let's do it. And we'll see you on Thursday. Night.
Bye.
Peace.
Bug race.
I'm so excited for the bug people. It's so good.
They got 4 arms.
Gotta do a quick shut off, team. Thanks for a great session.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I totally expected us to level up after almost dying to the Revenant, but
Oh yeah, you guys did level up. I need to tell her. You guys are level 5.
Awesome.
I'll put a message in chat.
But yeah, like if Lugan dies in Nova Vasi, expect a bug person in the following session to join you guys.
I am so surprised that went
As cleanly
well
as it did.
Well, it wasn't like I wouldn't say that was clean, but it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, well, yeah. That's fair. That is very fair.
Honestly, I'm so impressed that freaking illusion wall thing actually worked. I was expecting to just run right through it and just body slam you and you die.
yeah, I was kind of expecting the same thing.
I was fully prepared to burn my wild shapes to stay alive.